Henry VIII has become well known for his undying appetite for marriage, securing 6 wives in total, the first of which, and the marriage that lasted the longest, was with the Spanish princess Catherine of Aragon. Catherine of Aragon, born on the 16th of December 1485, was the youngest child of Spain's Isabella I of Castile and Ferdinand II of Aragon, and had originally travelled to England in 1501 to wed Henry's older brother Arthur, the Prince of Wales. The 15-year-old Arthur died just 5 months after the pair's marriage, and soon it was agreed that Catherine be wed to the recently crowned Henry VIII. The two were married for 24 years, and Catherine gave birth to 6 children, but only one daughter, the future Mary I, survived infancy. Henry's obsessive pursuit of a male heir and his increasing lust for one of Catherine's ladies-in-waiting, Anne Bolyen, marked not only the end of Henry's first marriage but also triggered the start of the English Reformation. Catherine, who continued to view herself as England's rightful queen, was eventually banished from court and died of cancer in 1536. Anne Bolyen, believed to have been born in 1501, was likely first encountered by the king in March 1522 when she performed in a play at Whitehall Palace. Although Anne's sister Mary acted as Henry's mistress until about 1525, Anne staunchly held out for the possibility of marriage. After 7 years of courtship and the creation of the divorce-permitting Church of England, Anne formally married Henry in 1533, but like her predecessor, Anne only gave birth to one surviving daughter, the future Elizabeth I. Soon, in order to instigate his next marriage to Jane Seymour, Henry had Anne investigated for high treason, and the next month she was convicted of adultery, incest, and conspiracy to kill the king. Anne was beheaded in the Tower of London on the 19th of May 1536. Jane Seymour, likely born in either 1508 or 1509, became a maid-of-honour to Catherine of Aragon as early as 1527, and then served in Anne Boleyn's household when Anne became queen. It's thought that Henry's interest in Jane began just 3 months before Anne's execution. The two were betrothed the day after Anne's beheading and married just 10 days after. By March 1537, Jane had fallen pregnant, and Edward, later the teenage King Edward VI, was born in Hampton Court Palace on the 12th of October 1537 after a 3-night-long labour. Despite the excitement at the birth of a male heir, Jane soon fell seriously ill, and she died of what was probably a postpartum infection 12 days later. After the death of Henry's last wife, Jane Seymour, in October 1537, Henry waited a monumental 2 years before his short marriage to Anne of Cleves. Negotiations that Anne, born in 1515 in the Holy Roman Empire, married the English king began in 1539, with the goal of forming a political alliance with Anne's brother William, a leader of Protestantism in Western Germany. But when Anne arrived in England, Henry supposedly exclaimed to Thomas Cromwell, "I like her not." Even so, the two were married a week later. Soon, the unconsummated marriage was annulled, and as settlement, Anne was given a generous annual income and the lifelong possession of Richmond Palace and eventually Anne Boleyn's former residence, Hever Castle. Anne outlived Henry and his 5 other wives, and she likely died of cancer on the 16th of July 1557. Catherine Howard, the first cousin to Anne Bolyen, born sometime between 1518 and 1524, was a niece of Thomas Howard, a prominent politician at Henry's court and the one responsible for securing Catherine a spot in Anne of Cleves' household. When Catherine was about 13, it's believed that she had a relationship with, or was groomed by, her music teacher, Henry Mannix, and she may have had a longer sexual relationship with the young noble, Francis d'Iran. Catherine and Henry were wed on the 28th of July 1540, just 3 weeks after Henry's marriage to Anne of Cleves was annulled. And soon, Catherine may have become involved with Henry's favourite male courtier, Thomas Culpeper. Catherine hadn't given birth to any children during her 18-month marriage to Henry, and by the summer of 1541, rumours of Catherine's current and past liaisons began to swirl. She was eventually charged with treason and beheaded on the 13th of February 1542. The twice-widowed Catherine Parr, born in 1512, married the king in July 1543. She was devoutly religious and published several books, making her the first English queen to become a published author. As Henry's health worsened, Catherine was soon targeted by anti-Protestant officials who felt threatened by her relative progressiveness, and a warrant was even secured for her arrest. She managed to reconcile herself with the king, and after Henry's death in 1547, Catherine married Thomas Seymour, but died in September 1548 after giving birth and contracting a postpartum fever.